You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
I bet you can. I'm willing to bet you can. I know you can. Folks, welcome back. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is dark out, folks. It's dark and even a bit cold. America's in big trouble. America needs your help. Good God, what is going on with this country? I always thought and predicted and wondered about how the revolution would start. Really, where it would start? Would it be in the South? Would it be up north? Would it be up on the West Coast? You know, what radical right-wing group was going to start the fight for independence in this country? Now, it turns out it's none of them. I'm going to give you a couple of stories, and we can just talk about this. I want your opinion, of course. And oh, by the way, you know, videos like this. Oh, man. 6 years ago, right when Trump was getting elected, this channel was crazy, folks. We would have tens of thousands of viewers. We would have up to, folks, 140,000 views a day, even though we only had half that number of subscribers. That's how many views a day we would get 6 years ago. Now we still get thousands a day, but nothing like that because we're in the dark. We've been shoved in the dark by YouTube, shoved in the dark by all of social media because they don't want us to be seen and heard. Well, get this, folks. Right? You are seen and you are heard, and that is why they are doing what they do to us. They like to say, well, we're the threat, you know, we're the problem, and we're the risk, yada, yada, yada. Well, who do we keep seeing committing the acts of violence? Yeah, it's not right-wing Republicans, it's not Southerners, it's not Northwesters, no Republicans. It's all Democrats. Now, this story came out, and here we go, folks. Yesterday, Anheuser-Busch, you know, Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch had 7 of their breweries, and they've got just under a dozen. I think they've got 11 breweries across America totally, received bomb threats. That's right, folks. Bomb threats. So that was the story. What I wanted to know was, did people understand what was being done? So I went through the comments section because the people who comment tend to be the most involved, paying the most attention, and being the best informed, even though their opinions aren't always necessarily in line with what we agree with. At least they're active and aware. Well, it was interesting. About 25% of them were like, no, violence is not the answer to fix things. They totally missed it. Totally missed it. You see, the violence, the threat, the bomb threat, didn't come from Republicans who are upset about Budweiser putting a tranny on the can. That doesn't, that is not going to inspire violence, especially to the point of bombing a beer brewery. Who bombs things, folks? Who bombs things? Terrorists. Terrorists use the bomb. That's their preferred weapon. The bomb. The leftists are mad at Budweiser, folks. The leftists. You see, the beer company has been invaded by these leftists. They got their way. They got their advertising. They got their fruitcakes put on the can. And those cans are being recalled. Not by Budweiser at the brewery. No, but by people who normally support Budweiser. Not going to do it. The stores, not going to do it. The distributors, not going to do it. They're going to send them back to the brewery. It's not the brewery's fault. It's the idiots in charge who put the face on the can that they put the beer in. So it is the left folks who are mad, and their response is to go to to the brewery and threaten them with bombs. Now here's another story for you. Here's another good one. In the state of Florida, the good people have voted. The good people of Florida are in charge of their own state. They vote, they elect people to represent them. The government works within the restrictions and confines and constitutional limitations. Because it is, like all the other states, a constitutional republic. And the good people have elected a supermajority of Republicans. Because the good people of Florida, I guess, down there, have had it with the nonsense and the bullshit. And they wanted to pass a law saying after 6 weeks, you don't get to go get an abortion. So what's the response from the violent lunatic left? It's to get violent and be lunatics. And that's precisely what they're doing, folks. They decided that they were going to storm into the legislative chamber and start throwing things at the legislators. The legislators, right? The rule makers, the people who have been elected. So the people's will, that is to say, is being carried out through the legislators, passing rules to help protect babies, and Democrats can't have that. Where's the people screaming and yelling that this is insurrection? Once again, folks, it is it's a sad and awful case of dystopian projection. See, January 6, 2020, that was not insurrection. That was the government using agents provocateur to start an incident that could be filmed, made to look really bad, so they could charge Republicans, Trump, with insurrection and everything else. Which is precisely what they are doing at the top. Taking over government through bad elections, taking over government through funding district attorneys and controlling the judicial process at the local level and the state level and the federal level. They are committing a coup. It is an insurrection against the government and the rules and the laws. It is the violent left, folks. You see, they project on us the things that they have in mind. When they don't get their way, they're going to act out violently. When they don't get their way, they're going to do bombs and bomb threats. And they used bombs on the police. Yes, they did. During the Summer of Love in 2020. They threw bombs at the police. They weren't very good bombs, but they did go boom and make a lot of noise. These people are violent, they're radical, they're communist, and they hate this country. And our message, the message of preparation, has been misconstrued to be one of violence. Oh, there's people on our side who are ready for the violence, and that's part of being prepared. Have guns and ammo, period. There's going to be violent lunatics out there. Go back to 2020, the Summer of Love. And it cracked me up, folks. And I'll close out with this. I remember sitting there when this channel was just roaring and growing on YouTube back in 2016. It was roaring, it was growing. And we had the election of Donald Trump occurring. And when Hillary lost, all of the college kids, the snowflakes, were sitting around crying and bawling their eyes out. Just bawling their eyes out on television. And I thought, geez, they sure have a lot invested in this, don't they? They're just kids. They haven't even started life yet. They don't know jack shit about shit. What is the deal? Folks, they are heavily invested, mentally and emotionally, thinking that they need their little communist insurrection. They need their communist takeover. They need their violent revolution. And they saw the election as a way to get what they wanted very quickly. Wow, someone's got their high boots on. Are you prepared for the violence that will be coming from the left and their government stooges? Do you see what is coming? It's not us on the right that are violent, it's the leftists. They want to bomb beer companies. They want to just crash the gates into Congress and start assaulting people. Expect it to get far worse, folks. Far worse. This is the life we get in the world we have. I'm planning on keeping my piece of it as a free man. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Separate 5. Godspeed.